Email marketing, an incredibly powerful tool. Most people just focus on their broadcast emails. A lot of people don't focus on what I feel is the most powerful part of email marketing, and that is your autoresponder sequence, which is a series of emails that you create ahead of time that get sent out sequentially to your audience based on however many days you want in between those emails. An incredibly powerful way not only to automate the relationship building process, to automate certain things like collecting feedback in terms of what your audience is struggling or what they want more of, but to also seed and plant affiliate marketing opportunities for yourself. So in this video, we're going to dive right into how you can utilize your email autoresponder sequence for affiliate marketing. Now again, like I said, you are writing these emails ahead of time, and in a moment, I'm going to take you into my email service provider, and we're going to create just a quick little outline of a sequence for you just to show you how it works. Doesn't matter what kind of email service provider you have. Most of them include this ability for you to create these emails ahead of time in your auto follow or autoresponder sequence. But the question is, well, can you promote products directly in those emails? So imagine a person subscribes to your email list, and X number of days later, let's say a week later, they get an email from you that says, hey, I use this product, it's really great, here's my affiliate link. Should you do that? Well, it's kind of up to you and your taste, and obviously it also depends on the rules of the product and the product owner and how they allow you to promote or not promote those products. For example, we talked about earlier, Amazon, for example, you're not allowed to put links into your emails that directly link to those products on Amazon. You're not allowed to do that on Amazon. Other companies may allow you to do that. Other ones, maybe not. You have to check and make sure. You can always just ask. They're going to help you because they want you to promote and be successful with it. But either way, you can obviously link indirectly to those products, meaning, for example, if it was a product on Amazon, I can link instead to a product review blog post or perhaps a demo video or other things that may already exist on my website that also incorporate that product. Either way, it's a great idea to utilize your email for affiliate marketing promotions. Now, another thing you can do, and this is really cool because we've already talked about the resource page, right? How it's a list of items that may or may not be products that you are promoting as an affiliate, but they're very helpful for your audience. And because it's very helpful for your audience, it's smart for you to include in one of those emails after people subscribes a link to your resource page to talk about the fact that this is there, to seed that, hey, this is a place where you can go to find things that you might need. And whether they end up buying at that moment or not, anything on that page, it at least lets them know this page is available. It's something they can look for if they need something later. And if they hear about it later on blog posts, videos, or podcast episodes, well, they're going to be reminded of it and be familiar with it and actually want to go and check it out. Now, of course, if every email you send out in your autoresponder sequence is one that eventually promotes a product and feels to that person like, well, why am I here? I'm just getting pitched all the time. Well, then, of course, people aren't going to open your emails later on, and it's just not going to feel good, right? Like, how often do you feel good every time you get an email from somebody and it's just a pitch, right? Not very good. But you can be smart about your approach and inject these promotions every once in a while to make it be very organic and actually be very valuable and helpful to your audience. And in return, you can get some rewards back in terms of commissions or at least a thank you for introducing these products to these people. And seriously, if you're not at least indirectly recommending products through your email and especially not mentioning your resource page, well, then you're crazy. You should do that, absolutely. So what we're going to do now is go into the computer, and I'm going to show you exactly how to set one of these things up, and I'll give you just an idea of what you could potentially do. You can obviously structure this and style this any which way you want, but we're going to go into my email service provider right now, and I'll just set one up for you really quick. I'm not going to write all the emails. I'll just tell you kind of what's inside each of them and how you might be able to actually structure this in a way that makes sense. So let's dive right in. Okay, so here I am in ConvertKit, and I'm just going to create a new sample sequence really quick. So we'll just call this sample sequence, and I'm going to hit create. Of course, like I said earlier, every email service provider typically will allow you the opportunity to create one of these follow-up sequences. ConvertKit gives you some great information about how to set this up, but I'm just going to delete all that right now. And of course, over time, you want to make sure you hone in on the right subject lines that you're going to use to make sure people open it. So it's going to require a little bit of copywriting, of course, in the emails as well, and how you structure your offers and lead into the links that you have in there. That all is stuff that you can learn over time, but the most important thing is to just get something up and running now, because this stuff can be a machine that works for you always, 24/7. So right now we're working on the very first email, which is typically the one that people get after they subscribe. So I'm actually going to change the delay to just 0 days, not 10 days, 0 days. That way it gets sent out immediately, as you can see there. So I'm imagining a person subscribing right away, and getting this email. So the email subject might be your first steps. And then I'll write some email copy. One of my favorite things to do in the first email people get is not just introduce myself and what I can do for them, kind of reaffirming that yes, they are in the right place, but also to offer a quick win, meaning is there something I can teach them within 5 minutes that they can get a quick result from? That way it kind of trains them to realize that, hey, there's actually good stuff in here that can help them get results. It's a very powerful book called The Power of Habit. And there's a whole chapter in there. It's by a guy named Charles Duhigg. There's a whole chapter in there about the power of these small, quick wins and how it kind of creates these habits for the people who are obtaining these small, quick wins. And if you can offer that for people, people are going to create the habit of wanting to come back to you because they're getting these good feelings of reward, be it very small, still very important, and they're going to continue to open your emails over time. So the first email people get, I would recommend that you try to blow people away with some sort of quick instruction that you can do related to what you are teaching them that can get them a quick win. So what I would say is, quick win goes here, and then a call to action to visit, guess what? Your getting started page. Once you do that, it offers people a place to go after you've provided them this value to get more information. And what's on that getting started page? Well, obviously some of the other pieces of content they should see and consume first, but also, like we talked about in the previous video, one of those affiliate promotions perhaps. So again, this is the first indirect way that you can begin to start actually showing these products in front of your audience in a very, very valuable way, not a very pushy and aggressive way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, of course, I can publish this, but I'm just going to draft these for now because this is just a sample. But I'm going to click Add Email to add the next one. I'm going to have this be sent out. Again, it's up to you. A lot of people like to do weekly and not use the weekend, so I'm just going to do that for now. This second email, I love to tell a story. So here's what happened to John. And then have this be something, and of course, again, the subject line kind of relates to the content and the desire that those people have. You want to make it something that is not too clickbaity, but also something that makes people want to open it. So what I would do in the second email is tell a compelling story. Stories are great because they help people sort of imagine that they are in the same situation. So tell a story that is about a person. It could be yourself too. Personal stories work great, but it's a story about somebody who is just like the person in your audience. It might be a previous version or a younger version of yourself as you were struggling with something. So talk about a struggle, have it be around a before situation, and talk about an after situation. So something that they learned perhaps. You want there to be always like a lesson in these kinds of things that you are sharing with your audience. Now what this does is it really helps people understand and empathize with how it is that you understand them, because the better that you can understand what they're going through, the more likely it is that they're going to think that you have a solution for them. There's actually a quote that's very similar to that by a guy named Jay Abraham. He says, if you can define the problem better than your target customer, they will automatically assume you have the solution. So your goal in this second email would be to inject some sort of story that shows that you understand exactly what they're going through. If you've run any surveys in the past, actually take and copy and paste some of what those people have said about their struggles and actually put them some way into this story or into this email. Again, so people will connect with you and realize that you are the person to pay attention to. Now, another great thing to do in some of your emails is to actually ask people to reply. And I know you might be like, what? I don't want all those replies. Yes, you do. This is like opposite of what you might think, but you want people to reply because a few things happen. When people reply to those emails, it shows their Gmail accounts, if they're using Gmail as their client for email, that yes, emails from you are really important. So they're never going to go into the spam anymore as long as you don't make them super spammy. So that's number one. Number two, it's going to have people know that there's a person on the other end who wants to learn more about them. And in the email world, it's very important that you do that because people get a ton of emails. Not a lot of people feel very special as a result of getting those emails. So your job is to make people feel special, and a great way to do that is to actually call on your subscribers to reply back. So what do you ask them? One of my favorite things to ask is, what are you struggling with right now? And of course, somehow connect that to the story about John that you mentioned. So you tell his story, he went through a struggle. And by the way, before you close this email, hit reply and tell me about a struggle that you're having related to blank. I'd love to know more about how I might be able to help you. Thanks and have a great day. And that's how you can close out that email in a way that it actually still provides a lot of value for them because they're feeling like there's a connection there with you, but also great value for you because you're collecting this information. And again, because this is in an autoresponder sequence, here's what happens. When a person subscribes today, 7 days from now, they're going to get this email and they're going to potentially send you a reply. So over time, since people likely would begin to subscribe every day, you're going to every day after 7 days at least, get a constant flow of these emails from your target audience telling you exactly what they are struggling with. And that's a great way for you to utilize the autoresponder to help you be informed of what to write about, what to record a podcast episode about, what products you could potentially promote, and also potentially what products to create. Okay, next, let's go into your third email here. I'm just going to click add email and do another 7 days. So this is 7 days after the last email. So we'll just do weekly for this sequence. Some of you might want to go a little bit more often. Some of you maybe want to space it out a little bit. But again, remember, these emails get sent automatically, which is really cool. Now, the goal of this one would be a helpful, or what I would say is the most helpful page on website name. Now, obviously, put your website name, but this is just a sample subject line. Now, any guesses what we might be putting into this email? A link to your resource page, right? Remember, it's really, really helpful. And the first email you sent a link to the getting started page, right? Second email, a lot of value, story, emotion, and a call to action to have people reply. Here's another helpful thing that you're offering, which again goes back to your resource page where you likely have some items that you are promoting as an affiliate. And you don't even have to mention that here because remember that disclosure is at the top of the resource page. But this is a great spot to just say, hey guys, I just want you to know we have this resource page. These kinds of things are on it. It's going to be very helpful to you whether you end up using it now or later. Doesn't matter, just bookmark it and it's here for you whenever you need it and it gets updated over time. So those are things you can say in that email and the call to action is obviously a link to that page. Now a quick piece of advice for you. In email, because a lot of people are viewing emails on their devices now, and a lot of people like myself have really fat thumbs, you want to make it easy for people to click through. So when the links are like right in the middle of a paragraph, it's a little less likely to be clicked on than when it's on its own line. So I don't do this all the time, but anytime there's a really, really big call to action, I have that link that's clickable or tappable on its own line. So I might say blah, blah, blah. My resource page, click the link below to visit the resource page now to check out all the great to check out all the great tools. And then I'll put the link here, another call to action with a direct kind of, here, do this. Click here to visit the resource page. Then I'll do this, highlight it, and click this button here, insert, no, not insert file, link, insert link, and then I'll do smartpassiveincome.com/resources, open link in a new tab. And what's cool about ConvertKit is I can even tag these subscribers with certain tags so I understand that, yes, they've actually clicked over to the resource page. And that begins to allow me to kind of segment my audience a bit. So I can click tag subscribers who click this link. I can create a tag on the fly here that says clicked resource page. And then further down the road, I can send an email just to the people who click the resource page to say, hey, I know you checked out the resource page. We've added 5 more resources for you today. Go check them out. Or maybe even sending another email to those people, whether it's in the autoresponder or just a live broadcast. I could say, hey, I noticed that you haven't checked out the resource page yet. It's such a valuable page. I just want to make sure that you know it exists. This will be the last time I let you know about it. So those are some things you can do. I'm not going to do that right now, but I'm going to click insert. And of course, now there's a link there. And of course, you want to close out each email with a nice closing statement that maybe is something that people are used to hearing from you. For instance, for me, it's cheers and see you in the next email or something like that. Again, just kind of teasing what's coming next. So those are some strategies you can use for your email, and you can obviously continue to add more emails to your sequence. I mean, add as many as you can. Again, remember, the more you add, the more content you're providing, and the more opportunities people have over time automatically, because you're setting this up front, to get and dive into your stuff. And sometimes it's gonna be free stuff, sometimes it's gonna be stories, content, maybe it's gonna be questions and things like that. Maybe affiliate opportunities too. Now, one final piece of advice for you, actually a quick bonus. If you go to the resources section down below, you'll also see a link to download something called Email the Smart Way. It's a direct link download. You don't have to subscribe or anything. I mean, you're already in this course. Click on that link, you'll download it. It's actually 10 different kinds of emails that you can send to your email subscribers in a follow-up or in a broadcast, doesn't matter. Really helpful stuff because, a big problem in teaching email marketing is a lot of people teach okay, well, here's how you can get subscribers, but they don't really teach, okay, what can you send to those subscribers? So download that. It's just a quick PDF with some templates you can use to discover some more ways that you can utilize your autoresponder and enjoy. Have fun with this. Thank you. And one more lesson in this module before we move on to step 3 and get into more active promotional strategies with your affiliate marketing campaigns. So one more lesson, which is going to be a quick one, but it's going to be the big call to action to actually put all this together and make things happen. So we're done with this lesson. Click continue, and I'll see you there to finish up.